Hey everyone, I'm Atul and I'm super excited to talk about index function in Excel today. So let's go to Excel right away and start working with Excel index function. So the first question that comes is what exactly is Excel index function and how we can use it. So in a simpler terms, the Excel index function returns the value in a table based on the intersection of a row and a column position within that particular table. So let's go to our raw data and let's talk about the point or the definition that Microsoft Excel gives about the index function is that it returns the value based on the intersection of row and column. So suppose you want the fifth item of the sixth row, then how would you get that? So when I'm saying the fifth item, then it means that this is row 1, right? And you want the fifth item of that particular column, which is row number 6. So this is our row number 6 and the fifth item, that means the fifth column. So when you count from the starting, which is column A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4 and E column is 5. Now when the definition says that it gives the value based on the intersection of a row and a column, so this point, this 264 is the intersection of this row number 6 and column number 5. So based on the intersection, this index function returns you the value, and the first row in the table is row 1 while the first column in the table is column 1. This index function is a built-in function in Excel that can be categorized either in lookup or the reference function. So how exactly does this index function comes handy in our day-to-day work? So let's go and see few example of index function. The first example is that you have to get the nth item from a list. When I'm saying nth item, you can put either fifth or sixth item or any row value item you can get from a list. So right now, suppose you want the car name of rank 5 and how many units have been sold for that particular car, as well as what is the category of that car. So if you see this raw data, you have this rank of car based on units sold. Now suddenly if you want rank 3 instead of rank 5, then what you need to do is that you need to again write a formula for that. So this is the thing which index function eliminates. So based on the value which you want, the index formula will work dynamically. So instead of changing the formula, you have to just change the parameter and it will give you the value based on that parameter. So for example, instead of rank 5 car name, you want rank 1 car name, then instead of writing the entire formula, what you need to do is that you just need to put 1 here and it will give you the car name based on the rank. So that's what the index function does. So basically index function has 3 different parameters in the function, which we will discuss when we'll start writing the formula for index. So our question was that to get the fifth item from a list, and this is our list from column A till column Q is our list of cars with their features and the number of units sold, how much profit they had made, the total profit from that particular car based on the units that has been sold, and the rank of the car based on the units sold. So what we'll do is that we have to get the fifth rank, the car which has the fifth rank. Okay, so we'll start writing the index formula. So we'll put equal to, then we'll put the index. Once you write this index keyword, then you will get this self-help tip from Excel. which gives the definition of index function that states return a value or reference of the cell at the intersection of a particular row and column in a given range, which I have already told you. So we know that once we have to put the function, then we'll put this opening bracket. So the first parameter that requires within this function is the array. This array means the table from which you want to get the data. For us in this example, the array is this raw data. So what I'll do is that either I can select this entire range, or what we can do is that we can simply click on this small square box so that it will select this entire sheet. And I'll tell you why we should do this, why we should select this entire sheet. So for example, going forward, if you need to insert few columns between H and K, then in your formula you have already covered the entire range, so you don't need to increase the range within your formula, and your formula will work in the way it was supposed to do. So we have selected the array, which is the table. Now the second parameter that this function requires is the row number. So the row number means that what exactly the row number that you want, from where the value should get picked. So for us, we require rank 5 data. So we can see here in column Q we have rank, and this is 5. So we need the row number. If you go in your left, you will see this row number, which is 6. So what we can put right now, we can put manually 6, and then it requires the column number. So in this formula we need the car name. So the car name is in column A, which is the first column of this table. So we'll simply put 1, and then we will close this bracket and we'll press enter. So you get your car name. But if you think about it, you have manually entered the parameters here, the second and third parameter, right? What happens if we put, instead of rank 5, we'll put rank 3? Nothing changed. Reason being is that in this formula in cell B6, you have given the hard-coded row number, which is 6 here. So once you change the rank as 3, what you need is that you need this row number 4 here, right? And you should get the output as Mercedes 240D. So what we will do is that instead of hard coding the parameter of row number, we will simply put the dynamic row number based on the rank. So we need the rank third car name, and we know that the 3 is present here in this column or in this cell A6. So we'll take this reference A6, and then we'll put the column number. So our column number is 1. We know that the car name won't change. The space in which the car name is, which is in column 1, it won't change. So we don't need to put the dynamic column here. So we'll close the bracket and then press enter. Now you will see that you are getting the incorrect car name here. So the for rank 3 we have Mercedes, but we are getting this Camaro. Reason being is that when you have selected this entire range here, raw data 1 to this many 10 lakh, you are giving a specific instruction to index function is to start checking or start getting the data from row 1. So in your row 1 in raw data, you have the headers here. So what you need to do is that you need to put A6 plus 1 in order to get the exact or the correct car name. So if you see this rank 3 here, rank 3 is at row number 4. Reason being is that the column header is in row number 1. So we got the car name here. Now if we want to take rank 10 car name, then what we should do, or if you want the car name that has rank 9, then what you have to do? Simple, you have to just put 9 here and then you will get the car name. Now you have to notice that when you have put rank 9, then ideally what you are searching in this formula is that get the value or the row number which is 9 plus 1, because in our raw data we have one extra row which gives us information about the data values. So now you want the sold unit for this rank 9. It will also depend upon this rank 9. So whenever you will change this rank, for example I'll put 10, then we should get the exact car name, the unit sold and the car category which has rank 10. So for example, the car which has rank 10 here has unit sold 682, right, is from category D. So this should be our output. So how we will do that? Similarly, we'll put index function here, okay, and then again index asks us the array, so we'll put raw data, the entire sheet range as our table. Then we'll put the row number. So for row number we'll again use this cell A6 plus 1, and this plus 1 is because we have an extra row in our data which is header. If we don't have an extra row as a header in our data set, then you don't need to put plus 1. Now we need the column name now. So the column name is unit sold is N. So if you count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this unit sold is in row number 14. So what we'll do is that we'll simply put column number 14. We want data from column number 14, right? So we are getting unit sold as 682. So how does this index function work? It basically first it goes into this data set, okay. Now it takes the row number which is 11 for us in this data set, reason being that we are searching for rank 10. So it goes to row 11 and then it searches for column 15. Now if you see the intersection for this row and column, this 682 comes as the intersection. So if I highlight this row, right, you will see that there is only, okay, so there is only one value, which is this one, 682 is intersection between this row and this column. So similarly, if we need this car category is in column number 13. So what we'll do is that we'll simply copy this entire formula, right, and we'll paste it here, and instead of column number 14 we'll put column number 13 and we get the car category here. Now if you want rank 5 detail, the car details of rank 5, you just need to put 5 in the rank cell and the entire thing will change. So this is how index function works in Excel. Now let's go to another example, and our example is to get this entire row data. So for example, based on the rank that you have selected above, you need to get this entire row. So for example, for this rank 5 you need this entire row. So how can we get that? Using this index function. So let's start writing the function here. So first what I'll do is that I'll simply put this entire header here so that we can understand our output. Now the first thing that we need is the car name, right, based on our rank, which is 5. So we'll simply put the index function as index, and then we'll put the array, which is our this entire sheet range, and then we'll log this range. Then we will take the row number. So for us, our row number is this rank 5, right? So we'll put +1 as there is a header extra. Now we need the column number. So the first thing is that the card name is in column 1, right? So we'll simply put 1 and then we'll close this bracket and we'll get the card name. Now if you think that we'll drag this formula, will it work? No, it won't. The reason being is that you have given hard-coded column number here. So in our previous example, we knew that the card name space which is in column 1 won't change, so we have used this 1 here, right? Or we have used this for unit sold, card unit sold, we have used this column 14 because we knew that the column won't change or the column number won't change. Now I'm showing you this example so that you can get familiar with multiple formulas that you can use within the index function. Now in a simpler way, you can think that this card name is at row number 1, then the MPG is at 2, cycle is at 3, displacement is at 4. So what we can do is that we can make this column number dynamic also. And how we can do that? We can simply put the column function. Okay, we'll put the column function and then this column function asks us the reference and we'll give this reference, simply this one reference. So when you give this column reference, the first column of this particular sheet in which we are working, it will take column A11 as column 1 and then we'll close this bracket. So we are getting the same result here, right? So let's see what this column A11 gives us. This gives us 1 because this column cell A11 is in column 1, that's why it's returning 1. Now what we can do is that we can simply drag this formula now, okay, and what we need to do is that we need to lock this cell because we need the row number should be the same, right? So we'll lock this cell. Now again we'll drag this formula. Now you are getting the exact value which is present in the row number 6 here for this rank 5. So just see this value and match it up with this value. So everything is matching, right? Now if I change rank 5 to 6, ideally this section as well as this section should change. It does. Right? Similarly, if we change 10, the value get updated dynamically. So this is how, if you want to get the entire row item based on the value, you can do this. The third example that we will see today is this, that you have to use the index with other Excel formulas. So in our example 2, we have also used the column formula to make our column selection dynamic, right? Now suppose, so if you want to get the sum of cars sold till a particular range, then how can you do that? So for example, right now we have n rows as equal to 5, right? Now if you want to take the sum till rank 5, then what you need to do is that you need to sum this unit sold till 5, right, which is 4419. Now if I go back here, so ideally we should write the index formula in such a way that we can get the sum of units sold till row number 5. So what we'll do is that simply we will put index, right? Before index we need to put the sum function because we need the sum of the units sold. So we'll put sum. Okay, now the sum function asks us the list of numbers that you want to add. So what I'll do is that I'll simply put what we can do is that we can simply go and select this range till rank 5, right? And then we'll put like this. So we are getting the sum of cars sold till rank 5. But what if we want to change this n row to 10? Does our formula changed? No, it does not, because right now our formula is not dynamic. So the sum function can give you the sum based on the range that you have already given in the parameters of the sum function. So what we need to do is that we need to make this parameter of sum function dynamic. So in the sum function we'll put the index function, right? So we'll put index and then we'll take our array as the entire sheet, we'll log this range, then we have to put the row number, right? So in this raw data we know that we require the range, the summation of the range from row 2nd till row 6, right? Because our parameter that is given here n rows is 10, so we need from row 2 till row number 11, right? So what we'll do is that we'll put our row as 2, okay, and then we need the sum of units sold, which is in column 14, so we'll put 14 here. Okay, so we have the first dynamic range here for sum. So now what it will do is that it will give you this, it will give you 952, which directly comes from this, so this intersection, from this intersection. So we had given row number 2 and column number 14. So if you see this formula, row number 2 and column number 14, right? What we can do simply is that we can change our arguments as a dynamic parameter. So similarly we'll take this index function again, okay, and in some function we know that we use this notation, right? So for example, if you require sum from HP till weight, what you will do is that you will put simply sum and then you will put from, take this range, right? So you have this notation. So similarly, think of this first parameter of index, this index function, think of this index function as this first parameter of sum, E12, and then we need to put the second parameter, which is G12. So what we'll do is that again we'll copy this entire index function, okay, and then we'll put again this index function, we'll put again this index function, and instead of keeping this row number 2, what we can do is that we can make this dynamic based on our selection of rows, which is here 10, then we'll put P19 plus 1 because we have an extra row as a header in our data set, and then we'll close this. So till row 10 or till rank 10 we have this much of units sold, so we'll just go there, okay, and we'll check it. Till 10 we have 8,106 cars sold, and that is what we are getting, 8,106. Now if we change this value as 5, then we are getting 4,419, and if I check back here till rank 5 we have 4,419. So this is how you can use the index function with other Excel formula to make your formula more dynamic and more versatile. Hey, if you find this video insightful, then do check out other videos and hit the like and subscribe button.